Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about the timeline of this, Endgame film. In Avengers Endgame, by the way, there's going to be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, once again, I have to preference this. Go see the movie, then come back and check out this video, so that way we can discuss it and theorize and all that. So, I'm going to be talking about the timeline situation that some people seem to be having an issue with in this latest film. Now, the biggest one is one that everybody's talking about, which is Captain America, how he gets back after returning all the stones. And then there's also Thanos, which I don't see a lot of people talking about. And maybe now I know why, because I did think about it myself a lot. But I think it's worth mentioning anyway, so I'm going to mention the Thanos one first. Uh, at the end of Endgame, during the final battle, Iron Man snaps his fingers, and he disappears. You know, all the villains snap away. Right? They all turn to dust. You did this to us, we're doing it to you. It's payback, bitch. That's pretty much what Iron Man's doing, and Thanos and Nebula. Nebula was killed earlier, the Nebula from 2014. And then Thanos is wiped away, and of course, Gamora is somewhere out here in present, or in 2023. That's where the future is. 5 years from Endgame is 2023. They confirmed this again because in 2014 they say it's 9 years from now, 9 years into the future, which again would be 2023. So, 2023 is where obviously we're going to try to link back up to. But 2014 Thanos disappears, right? And Nebula is killed, and Gamora is somewhere here in 2023. We're not there yet, but we'll get there eventually. What I don't understand about this is that, wait, if you take out those characters from that timeline, then there's going to be a branch. But then you think about it, technically they're actually saving that world, or are they? Or are they making it worse for something worse to appear? I have no idea, but the stones are back, at least. The only problem is you don't have Thanos coming to Earth. Which is not really a problem. So maybe that doesn't really matter then. That created a branch to go off in a separate direction. But now you got the Captain America issue that everybody is talking about, right? The Captain America issue is that when Captain America goes back in time, he appears on a bench. So that he doesn't return on the time machine display that they have there, that goes into the quantum realm and all that. And it actually appears that Sam and Bucky notice, hey, look over there by the lake. There's someone sitting over there, and they go and they see it's Captain America, all old and wrinkly and stuff. Now a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, how did he get back if he put all the stones, he went back in time, put all the stones, so he stayed there and somehow he's now here in 2023, all right? And the directors, the Russo brothers, actually came out recently and said this. I'm paraphrasing because I heard it off of Collider Live, and so from how they said it, it was that when Captain America went back in time, he did create a new branch with him and Peggy. But then eventually he did return to 2023. I'm guessing when he became finally old and wrinkly, right? After he lived a good life with Peggy. Because let's remember, Peggy only passes away in 2014. So let's presume that Captain America, Steve Rogers, grows old with her, and by 2014, because it would be around 40 years after he went to the 1970s to 2010 would be 40 years later. So yeah, I mean, Chris Evans is almost 40 years old, so we can presume that he's um, in his 70s or 80s. And yeah, so after Peggy passes away, maybe he realizes, maybe now it's time for me to go home. Now that I lived my life with the person that I love, maybe now it's time for me to go back. And so he goes back, but how? The question is how, because he didn't arrive on that machine. Well, the Russo brothers also stated, well, that's for another story to tell. And so it sounds like there is a situation, but for some reason he doesn't use the same way to go back. There's going to have to be a story that shows that different way, whether it's in another movie or, I was thinking, a Disney Plus TV series that they could easily do. Now, why am I saying a Disney Plus TV series? I know some people are probably thinking, David, Chris Evans says he's done, he's not. Yeah, but Disney Plus said these are limited series and that they'll do 6 to 8 episodes. 6 to 8 episodes. There's 6 time stones. I mean, it kind of fits if you think about it. And there are some things that a lot of people came up with, like, wouldn't you love to see that moment? Captain America goes to the planet where the Soul Stone has to be taken back. I don't know how you put the Soul Stone back, because you have to sacrifice yourself in order for it to come out of the sky. Do you just throw it back in the sky? I have no idea. But the most interesting thing would be him facing Red Skull, right? He would meet Red Skull, and I think a lot of people would love to see that reaction. I would also like to see, how do you put the Aether back in Jane? You took it out of her, but now you're going to put it right back in her? It's like, poor girl, man. First she doesn't get to say much in Endgame, now you're putting the Aether right back in her. And then, the Time Stone is easy, but I think there's a lot there that you can somehow make things up to make it a little bit more difficult and center a story. And each episode would have Steve Rogers going through time and returning these stones, but maybe it's not as easy as he thought it was going to be. And then you can have, in the last episode, he spends his time with Peggy Carter, and it shows their life together as they go on throughout the ages. But eventually he realizes, I have to go. After she passes away, he realizes he has to go back. But maybe going back isn't as easy as he thought it would be. Or, like I said, they could also do it in a movie. Now, what movie? Right now, the only one that I can think of that they can bring an older Captain America back in is Doctor Strange, because he can tap into the quantum realm. And so it would make sense that... Oh, no, it doesn't make sense. You know why? Because Cap would have to return before the events of Endgame. Before that last moment. I mean, unless Doctor Strange did it during the final battle, I have no idea. I'm not even going to think about that. I'm going to let it for Marvel to decide, and if they never answer the question, well, then that's going to be a big plot hole that's never going to get answered. And look, it doesn't bother me. You know why? Because the ending of this movie was so good on an emotional level that, look, I'll let that slide if it never gets answered. But it would be nice if it got answered. And a Disney Plus TV show would be a nice way to do it. So you wouldn't even need to guess Chris Evans back, though, if you did it on an upcoming film. Maybe it could be a film that takes place during the 5 years that everyone has disappeared. So there's different ways they can do it. I'm curious on how they'll do it. I'm very excited. So look, guys, I want you guys to comment below and tell me your theories. How do you think the Marvel should handle this on bringing old Steve Rogers back? Would you like to see him come back, or do you think, nah, just leave it alone? It was a nice ending. Let's just leave it. We don't always have to be nerdy and pick at things all the time. We'll let this one slide under the table, and they don't have to explain it because it was such an emotional, beautiful ending. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. I hope I made sense out of it, because thinking about it now, I think I'm even a little confused on what I said. But like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'll try to make more sense in the future. And until next time, I'm going to do an MCU video of ranking all the MCU movies, my list order. So get ready for that. It will be tomorrow for sure. And that will probably be the last MCU video, unless I want to talk about more. But there are other movies and shows out there that I do want to talk about. But this is the Avengers week. I have to get all of it out of my system, and tomorrow I promise it will be a lot of it will be out by then. So until then, take care.